What makes Green Meadows so amazing is that not only do the staff have a relationship with our tenants, but the staff have a relationship with each other. We have the most amazing relationships in our works environment amongst all of us. So we are all friends. We are really here for each other.
We offer customer service that supports our tenants and make them feel homely.
We are able to, because we are such amazing work environments, we are able to offer that to our tenants. So we are able to create spaces where our tenants can come to speak to us about stuff. We are able to create spaces where our tenants can really live out their student life with us.
Hello everyone, my name is Atang Swartboy, founder of hashtag you before me, and am I not grateful for you being here? Right now, as you can see him down on your screen, I know it's down guys, you have Mr. Xavier Miles himself, but before I get into his whole credentials and everything else, I just need to say, Ms. Vitumotake could not join us today, but we just swapped our very incredible speakers around. So she will be joining us on the Wednesday, on the 8th of September at 7 o'clock. Remember, welcome to hashtag You Before Me's Seshweek, where we are going to be tackling everything gender-based violence and femicide issues, just everything that you thought was irrelevant, we're going to touch on. And like Mr. Miles said, if you want raw and unfiltered, this is the place to be. So thank you so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the show. And most importantly, that you will be able to share your experiences on the comment section, that you'll be able to let us and give us light into what you think are the issues that need to be tackled. Obviously, we are down to come constraints. But if you ask good questions, hey, I will provide for you. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, down on my screen, I have Mr. Xavier Miles. Now, I think people joining here, I have sang his praises the whole week, last week, asking people to join him. And this started with me just saying, Mr. Miles, I would like you to be on my TV show. There was this one video that he released, an absolutely incredible video, and I just fell in love with him. Yes, guys, it's possible for guys to fall in love with other guys because of the work they do. I fell in love with you, sir, so thank you so much for just doing that. And yeah, I'm very excited for the questions. But hey, I'm not an easy presenter. The questions I'm going to keep asking are going to be tight and are going to be difficult. So please do prepare yourselves for that. And if you have anything to add, let's say you want to add on the question I asked, please do add your opinions and everything on the comments, and I will read them as we go. I hope all of you are ready. Now, Mr. Miles, I want to start us off by first saying I have this secret admiration for you and a certain Miss Vitumotake. Now, she has claimed you as her friend, obviously, yes. And he said it also in our comment section. Will you please tell me, how did that relation come to be? And don't mention the video that you posted first. I want to know, how did the relationship come to be?
Well, actually, she found me in a way, and she was just, let's do a live. And I was like, oh wow. Okay, no problem, let's do it. And then that's I guess it. It wasn't even awkward. It was like real talk things and stuff like that, So ever since that, that's just, yeah, that's how it was.
It's amazing because she's someone who's so prominent in the field of fighting gender-based violence. She's an author and everything, and to just be acquainted with all of you is not only an honor for me, but for my whole team as well. So I really thank you for being here. I want to jump into the first question, and I want to get this out of the way. Now, guys, just to provide a little bit of context, how this man's journey started was a video he released on Instagram. And I'm going to ask you, sir, your video has 265,000 views, almost 265,000 views on Instagram and close to 2,500 comments. Now,
sure. To
those who are joining us and might not know what the video was about, please share your story. How did you become a creative and an activist when it comes to gender-based violence and femicide and fighting for these issues and really going out there encouraging men to just step up? How did it come to be?
Okay, I've always wanted to do it, since high school. I'm in third year now. I matriculated since high school already. I've been wanting to speak on these type of things, but like the cliche, that whole thing of the stuff that I'm speaking about is the stuff that I have went through, of I don't really want to talk to these people about what they're doing. It's wrong, yeah, but I don't really, because ish, I might lose friends. Ish, I might not be so popular. Ish, people might not like me anymore, you know. But it's that thing of, ever since I would say grade 11, I would notice these small things. The conversations that I would have with some of my friends, you know, the ladies especially, it's like how they would just be uncomfortable on a daily basis with basic things that I would do, you know. Like I can walk in with 2 earphones in my ears in the streets. They have to walk in with just 1 earphone in, you know, because they need to hear if there's someone, you know. And it's those basic things like, wow, you know. So, and I would say after I matriculated, I had first and second year, and that's when things started changing. That's when I started seeing real life problems. That's when I saw it firsthand, you know. And I know that I was involved in, there were 2 kidnappings that was there in front of this university. And I was there. There was a whole situation that was happening in one of the buildings of it, actually. And this girl had to call me to try and get some help. So these things just started happening. And I was like, what? Why couldn't I see this in high school? Why can't I see how serious it actually is? Why didn't they put emphasis on it? You know, and then I was still in that mindset of, ish, people might not like me. I don't know if I want to speak about this stuff, because all in all, what we're doing is telling it how it is, whether or not you like it, you know. So telling it like it is, the truth hurts, people will get hurt. And you have to understand that it happens, you know. So when this day came, I was walking, like I said in the video, I was walking, and this girl came to me. And to me, it was like, I prayed for this, you know. Throughout the year, I was just praying like, Lord, if you really truly want me to do something like this, if you really truly want me to have a voice and actually speak on social media, please show me, you know. I don't know how to go about this. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to start it, you know, because it's so complex. This whole thing is just, you know, and this happened. And I was like, okay, I have to do something now. You know, I can't have people do what I did in high school. They wouldn't take it so serious, you know. So it was just that conversation that I would have with myself of, yeah, people won't like me, but that fear of losing friends it's not on par with the fear that women face every day, you know. And people don't understand that concept of their fear that might happen in a minute happens every single day to our ladies of South Africa, globally, I would say, even, you know. So once I reached that understanding, I feel that's when I just decided, okay, Lord, let me do this thing. Before I started that video, I prayed a few times, and I was just like, if it reaches 100 people, it's okay. 100 people saw it, and it reached so many people.
Yes.
So that's how I came to be.
I think what's interesting for me is we see so many people out there doing so many things on social media, and not even their video would reach 265,000 views. And it just goes to show, and I saw your video with one of my friends on Instagram sharing the video. It just goes to show the power of social media activism. Now, I want to touch on that. Sir, there is something that we all do out there, and especially now in the COVID times, we are prone to go to social media to voice out our opinions, to voice out everything. And that's why I'm urging every one of you to please just add your opinions on the comment section. We'll read them out and we'll talk about it. And talking about social media activism, for those of us that don't understand, just put it into words. How do you understand it? I mean, what is social media activism to those of us who are not so familiar with the term?
Okay. Social media activism, if we're speaking on things such as GBV, I personally feel it's not an opinion, it's a fact. What women are going through, the troubles that they face, it's a fact. It's not my opinion. I'm not saying, yeah, they go through that, but you know, it's a fact. This is what's actually happening. This is what's truly happening. And it's that thing of, we're facing people that are arrogant. We're facing people that are inconsiderate, you know. And, you know, people would say not all men. And I would say you included because you're quiet. I don't see no videos. I don't see no action on you. I don't see, that's the truth, you know. Even if you're not the type to post anything, just speaking it to someone, talking, you know. And that's what we need to do. There's way too many predators and way too little activists fighting against it. And I feel we need to create that safe space for people to actually speak about this type of thing. We need to normalize it. Because now you I'm saying these things and then it would be, I'm chasing clout. I'm doing all of that. As a man, my main, how can I say, the main thing that discouraged me were other men. It wasn't the woman, it wasn't my parents, it wasn't my friends, you know, but it's other men that are saying, nah, what you're doing, you're just trying to get attention from ladies. You're trying to get attention from whatever. You're just trying to gain more followers. To say you said this number and the last number I thought was like 100 and something thousand. I didn't even know I'm on 200,000 views for that video. So it's like, it's not about that, but if it reaches more than that, oh great. You know. So with activism, you need to have that strength, that backbone. I feel that's what you need also, you know. So
Sure. I think that's so important. That's a very important aspect you bring in there, the backbone. And I'm going to touch on that because my next question relates to people who are not activists. Now, for us as activists, it's so easy to say we are living a culture of trying to create a safer space for women and children and everyone who is affected by this heinous violence. And for those who are not activists, like you said, who are maybe not so prone to posting or are kind of shy, introverted, just explain to them what is the difficulty of making those that have not had an experience, who are introverted, had an experience but are introverted. What is the difficulty for them that they need to overcome in order to be like yourself and reach that level of, okay, this is it now, I'm going to talk about it. No matter how many friends I lose, no matter how many people don't see me for what I do, but only see the bad intentions, just what is the message to those people who are not as activisty as us, you know, who are open to talking about these issues?
Okay, look, when I did that video, I wouldn't have called myself an activist. Till today, I feel like I'm not really an activist. You know, I'm not. This just kind of just happened. You know, but what I would say is I'm not an activist, but I'm just a person with common general knowledge. You know what's right and wrong. You know the issues that are happening in front of your face. You know it's there. And if you're an introvert, it's like, just do it. You know, it's all in all, how I like to explain it is, imagine you're standing on the cliff and at the bottom there's water. You're not going to jump in that water, or you don't want to, unless you just do it. You just creep and you jump, you know. And it's that same element here with activism. You don't have to be an activist. You can be a listener and just further the message. You don't need to be an activist. Just reposting, that's more than enough, you know. It's something. It's better than just that person that's just looking at it and scrolling past, you know.
I have talked about my friends about the very same issue, the power of really reposting. And I made the statement one day and I said, just imagine if I have 700 followers, you have 1,000 followers, you reshare something on your story that I posted. Not only my 700 followers will be able to follow it or see it, but we'll be able to see everything that comes with it because it's the message, it's a common goal that we're trying to achieve. So I think that's very important. And I wanna go to the comment section now and just say to you what Faith Masilela has said. It says deepest, there are too many predators than activists, and we do agree with that. I mean, Xavier has gone into much detail about the predatory nature of men, and I had a conversation with my friend who felt that. I mean, and I want to touch on that. While we're on the subject of predatory males, she touched on something that's so significant in that someone told her that she was wearing a crop top, right? And someone told her that, listen, your friend is fighting for gender-based violence. Now, the friend is me, and you are wearing that. Just what exactly are you trying to say? Do you not support him? What is wrong with that? Is there anything wrong with that? Is it normal? Should we try and advocate for women to dress a certain way or not to get hurt? What is the message there, Xavier? Because I kind of feel like we are going in circles when it comes to this. Point the message out for us, please.
Okay, let's go. Clothes don't talk. So what she's trying to say is nothing, because she's not saying it. The clothes are not saying it. Just because she's wearing something around her that might show off skin, it doesn't mean that she's asking for it like most people say. She's not. There's never been any word that was uttered from her mouth that said, look, you can do whatever you want. She didn't say that. Clothes didn't say that. Now, look, now that excuse of, no, she was asking for it because she was wearing a crop top and shorts. You know, then let me hit that with the cliche also. In 1800s, what were they wearing? First, dresses below the knees, and they were still getting raped. You think of the elderly. What are they wearing? They're fully clothed. Most of them are not wearing crop tops. They're not showing much skin, but they're still being raped. And the triggering thing is toddlers, babies. So I don't understand where that thought came into being. It's just a way of justification. It's just a form of justification. They're trying to justify their mental weakness. They lack mental strength, you know, and trying to justify it by putting the blame on that. Now, that's not okay. That's not fine. You're just a slave to your mentality. You're a slave to your hormones. You're a slave to how turned on you get by just a lady standing there. You know, so when it comes to that type of things, it's not that she's trying to say anything. And she doesn't owe you an explanation either. Why are you dressed like that? It's what she doesn't even have to say that. Why are you even asking? You know, so that it's very wrong. It makes me angry. It's not okay. You know?
I completely understand. And the one issue for me here is I want to point out to something that's very important, and I think everyone can agree. The people in the Instagram live right now, I promise you 80% of them are women. And if you're trying to talk about these issues, hence the importance, and I keep going back to the importance of resharing and really talking about this. If 15 women share on their stuff what this guy has said, the guys are following you. They are following you for one reason only, and exactly what Miss Secrets Behind Scenes says, predatorial reasons. That's the only reason why they are following you. They want something to feed off of. And if you post something like that, it will trigger them, and you'll see yourself losing some kind of following, because as it triggers them, it just makes them feel very uncomfortable. And it's the truth. And I'm sorry for saying this, but the truth is the truth. The people in this Instagram live now are the people who do not need to be talked at this point, because they are the ones who understand the pivotal and crucial nature of this. Now, you and Miss Butumolotage did something the other day, and it was very interesting for me to see. And every time I feed off of you guys' energy, because you touched on a very important subject, which I didn't even know about, right? And it was called cancel culture. We've been talking about culture and trying to make being an activist, not only being an activist, but a listener, someone who goes out of their way to make sure that the friend goes home safely. But fighting in that regard, reposting, do everything. Cancel culture. What does that concept mean? I know most people don't know. So please explain to us, what did you learn from that whole experience of hosting an Instagram live solely on the concept of cancel culture?
Okay. With cancel culture, the best example that I could give you is R. Kelly or Bill Cosby. When those posts of mute R. Kelly comes along, that's cancel culture. You know, what you're doing is you're silencing, or rather pushing away this individual from societal issues. You know, so what you're doing is you this person, whoever it is, has violated or done something that is not okay, for lack of a better word. And what cancel culture does is, especially if it's a celebrity or someone that's very well known, you would kind of mute their music, for instance. Don't post it. Don't listen to their music. You stopping that type of their money maker in a way. And that's cancel culture. You stopping them in their tracks. And at the same time, what's so beautiful about this thing is that you raising the standard. You know, there's other celebrities that are doing maybe the same thing, and they see this celebrity is being cancelled. And then there it's going to be, oh, let me not do that anymore. So you spreading that awareness as well of, listen, this is not okay. This is not fine. And you spreading it to the younger people, you know, the youth. This is not okay. Consent. What is consent? Don't do that, you know? So it's that's cancel culture and what comes out of it.
And going to aspect, and you touch every time you kind of touch on my next question, which is kind of interesting. But my next question relates to what most people here are saying. This one person, it's so important what she said here. It's 4 lines, but it's explaining so much, and you can take a lot away from that, because that's my next question as well. She says, we have to be cautious of all men, because you never know who the predator is. And she's referring to when we said not all men, right? So that's that aspect. And she's saying we should never know. We never know who the men, not all men are. You know, those people who fall in that category. So if she meets me on the street, she wouldn't know whether to feel safe around me for obvious reasons. So coming back on your stories, right? And I followed you, and I've been doing research about you. You did something called SAPS stories, and you wanted to hear how these people treated them, how people treated victims, people who laid complaints and all of that. And the responses were shocking. I mean, just the responses alone were shocking. But without getting into too much detail, how do we make women, us as men, you and I are men, how do we make women like that woman is saying how do we make them feel safe around us? How do we get ourselves to a position where we are like, okay, cool, I'm going to do something better, because I don't want her to feel like I'm part of those men, you know? But it's a process. So how do we get to that process, and how do we implement it?
It's, at first glance, it's very difficult. I mean, like most women say, you don't know what's going to happen. You know, you don't know what this guy's intentions are. Me stepping in front of an actual predator and stopping this could be overwhelming to that woman, because now there's 2 men in front of her. Now it's, whoa, you know, that type of thing. And personally, I feel it's a very difficult thing to do, but all in all, just communication. Know? And if that doesn't work, let it go. You know, you said your say. If it's a thing of, would you want me to accompany you, for instance? If she's alone, or whatever. If she says no, she says no. It's okay. If she's okay with it, but all in all, being a man and making a woman feel safe around you is not possible. I feel it's not possible for you to make her feel safe around you. All in all, it's her decision. She will decide. You know, women have that intuition. She has that, I can see this one.
Oh, wow.
Maybe it's the same. So all in all, it's her decision. You're just the
Sure.
messenger, you know. So
That's so true.
Mm.
And I'm gonna read out Call Me Dre said, your actions will do the most, how you treat women, how you converse with them, all of that can make them feel safe around you. Exactly what you're saying. It's her decision, and her decision is gonna be based off of your actions. I mean, this is so powerful. And getting even more powerful, I wanna trigger a few people. I wanna trigger a few people because you and I have released a similar video about celebrating days and months. So in South Africa, as all of you know, we have Women's Day, Women's Month, 16 Days of Activism, Nelson Mandela Day, where we are basically saying, I am devoting 16 hours, 5 hours of my time to you, a woman who has been eternally made feel unsafe for 365 days. And you call out those people for only, let's say, 50 days. Out of that 365, you call them out for 50 days. 315 days of the year, it's nothing. Nothing is being said. It's a normal day. So are we insulting and perpetuating violence by celebrating these days? And I want you to base your answer on that question where you asked, is celebrating Women's Month worth it?
You know, my first thoughts on that was, what are we actually celebrating? Why is there a limit to this celebration? Why do we only celebrate 31 days out of how many? 365 days of the year?
365,
why is
yeah.
this celebration being limited to only this 1 month? Women, these women go through so much, and we just take out 31 days. And during those 31 days, the same thing happens that happened the previous month. That's going to happen in the next month. Every single day. Look at Keep the Energy. Look at Women for Change. Almost every day there was a woman being posted.
Sure.
Killed. You know. So I feel we shouldn't limit the celebration. We should have that same celebration every single day. You know,
sure.
why on the 31st, oh, my women are so great. Oh, the women in my life, you're posting them, you're appreciating them. And then the 1st of September, you just carry on. You go about your day like it's you know. So I feel that shouldn't be normalized. I don't think that would ever make sense to me. But what my mother would tell me now when it came to Women's Month and whatever, and the days of activism, it's not about GBV. And I think that's what people also need to understand. Women's Month and celebrating them, it's not about GBV. It does not go hand in hand. We shouldn't think of women and so much as think of GBV, gender-based violence, because already we have that thought of, they are weak. They're going through so much. We're celebrating the CEO of a company. We're celebrating that gogo that's taking care of so many children with a smile on her face. We're celebrating that student that's facing mental health issues and is still able to pass his subjects with distinctions. And then go about their day like making like someone didn't just slap her ass in public.
Wow.
She's strong enough to do something like that. You know, and we have to get that in our minds that these women go through so much. It's just that we don't see it. We don't feel it.
Sure.
We've normalized that thing of, it's them. They are the other. We are men. We don't experience that. So we shouldn't normalize that. So to me, I feel that's what we actually celebrate. That's what we should celebrate. And not just in 31 days. We should celebrate those ladies. Those toddlers that took their first steps, those goers that are still working for their family, you know, and that's what we're celebrating. We're not celebrating the violence that is linked to the woman, you know. So yeah.
That's powerful, man. And I got goosebumps while you were saying it, like while you're explaining the gogo and the person who has mental health issues. I think it's incredible. And I think I said this one in my one piece. I said, I cannot imagine how someone cannot see a woman's worth. I mean, their meaning can absolutely tremble in one's head. Without them, we would never be here. The men who rape would never be here.
Exactly.
I mean, put that into your head. If it wasn't for a woman, the men who raped would not be here. The men who rape, it's their choice to have done that. It's not on the woman or anything else. We are the ones, we are the bearer of the light that we need to shine on them to make them realize, bro, no is no. What you're doing is wrong for these reasons. And if you do see someone, I encourage each and every one of you watching, men out there, I see that a lot of men joining now, and I'm glad. To you men who are joining out there, jokes are the origins of violence. And I can never emphasize this enough. Jokes are the... I'm going to keep it there. If you missed it, you missed it. You'll have to watch the show back. So I'm gonna go to the next question, and I want us to concretize this. You said in one video, your second video that you released, you said the time for awareness is over. Okay, now let's deal with that statement first. Please answer that statement, Mr. Miles. What did you mean by the time for awareness is over? Then I will ask an extension question to that, and I want each and every one of you watching to please interact with us. Tell us, what do you think he meant when he said the time for awareness is over in the fight against gender-based violence? Mr. Miles, I hand over the floor to you.
Okay. Action is what is seen, potential is not. And what awareness is potential that is going to be an action. Now we are just sitting and settling on potential at the moment. There are way too many activists that are raising awareness. They've been raising awareness for months. They've been raising awareness for years. People know what's going on. Nosicelo, a killer, knew what he was doing. You can't say that he was like, this is normal. People know these things. Now, we are just sitting on that potential. We're just sitting on that, guys, GBV. Our own president is doing that also. He would say his whole address to the nation, and as a side, just a gentle reminder that women are going through it in South Africa. Don't do this. But where's the change? What is our president actually doing? Where are the new laws? In my recent video, I was saying these are the people that are making new laws, that have the power to do this, but they're not. So now we have to start stepping into how. Yeah, we know, we should stop doing this. We should raise awareness. We should do these things. But how? That's what we're into now. How can we raise that young guy to respect a woman? To know what consent is? To know how to celebrate a woman? Respect. How do we do that? So that's what I meant.
Sure. And I think my next question has already been asked. Thank you so much, Mr. Suzanne Lewis. My next question has already been asked, but my next question relates to how do we educate? In your video, you said, now let's focus on the how. What is the how? Educate. And I'm going to make it simpler for you. I'm going to turn it into simpler and ask what Ms. Suzanne said here. How do you make an everyday man take action? Meaning everyday man, I'm assuming they said, I'm assuming they mean the people who are not like us, who are not talking, who are not doing something, who are not encouraging dialogue, who are not going out there to help in shelters, who are doing, those everyday men who are just watching us do the work and unfollow us and do everything because they don't like what we're doing. That everyday man, how do we take that person and say, this is how you do this? How do we let them take action?
Okay. Now, when it comes to that conversation, communication goes a long way. Now, I'm a Christian. Okay, I'm a Christian, and to me, living every day as a Christian is not just a religion; it's a lifestyle. Nah.
Oh.
Now, with that, it's love, it's kindness. Approach people with kindness as much as it's difficult, as much as they disagree with what you're actually doing. I've had this other guy. The first DM that he sent me was, I don't believe you lie. I study microfacial expression so I can tell when you lie. And I remember seeing this, and I was like, now I have to look at how my face is moving when I speak. How does that make sense? But I didn't focus on that. I was focusing on, this guy is not seeing the message, he's seeing the messenger.
Sure.
You know, see the message. Don't get angry at the messenger. Don't get angry at the person that's holding the loudspeaker. Look at the loudspeaker and look at the message that is portraying. Now, approach that with love. And to me, it's that Jesus love, I think, is what I see it as. You know, and as much as you might not like this person, don't stop because of your emotion in that moment. Don't make decisions on that emotion, you know. And I approached this guy and I spoke to him like, what I'm doing, it's not for you to get angry to. It's weird that you're getting angry at me and not the message that I'm saying. One of the things that he said is that it was a threat. He's going to make an NGO with a bunch of Zulu guys that are thirsty for blood.
Sure.
And I was like, do that. If you need to do that, do that. At least you gathering up men and at least you're speaking to them about this. And if you want to invite me, it's okay. Let me come. Do that. And immediately in that conversation, boom, things started changing. He was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll actually do it. Maybe I'll think, and then maybe you can come through, maybe help me through it, and whatever. Just because I showed him kindness, just because I approached him with that mentality of you doing something. As much as you feel like you might not be doing anything, that NGO can do so much. You know.
Yes.
So that Jesus love, that is what we need.
And I wanna also say, and I wanna wrap up that question. It's something that you said. Even if you're an atheist, and excuse me if I'm quoting you a lot, I just pay a lot of attention to a lot of people, so I'm a kind of a figure when it comes to memory. You said, even if you're an atheist, there is a common word that we must all have entrenched within us: respect. I'm gonna leave it there, and I wanna go to my next question. And this is absolutely incredible. I mean, the conversation. Whew, okay. The next question goes to something that you said, which for many people watching this and would have seen your videos might have been a contradiction. You said, we need to stop having mannequins in front of the camera. We need to stop having people doing activism as a way of earning brownie points with women. Now, we all know that women get attracted to a lot of men who know themselves, who know what they want, who know that women are priceless and everything. And so you mentioned that. And just now we talked about social media activism. And I want to correlate the two, the statement that you made as well as the conversation that we had now. If these two are contradictory, please make them mutually inclusive. I don't want them to be mutually exclusive. What did you mean by, I don't want people fighting because they are meant for brownie points? And what did you mean by, we need people to step up on social media, repost and doing everything? How do we find something for us to know, okay, cool, here is this issue, here's this issue, we don't have to fight them both? Or is it a matter of you can't be a mannequin? So please explain that. What did you mean?
Okay, with brownie points, it was disconnecting a little bit, but I think I got your question. Yeah. With brownie points, man, don't do this because you want attention. Don't do that, you know. And what I meant by that is that there's so many people, okay, that would go and respect a woman, help accompany her, help do things for her, protect her, but then go back home, go back to their school and explain to their friends how much this girl is sexy naked, how much this woman is wow. This woman, the things I would want to do to her, I'm probably going to get her drunk. That's scoring brownie points. You are two-faced. And like I said, people are working with facades. That's what people are doing. Now, as that friend that's hearing this from someone that is respecting a woman, you have to change that now. You have to stop that acceptance, because people work with acceptance and relatability. Now, I'm a guy that's saying, yo, imagine what she looked like. Or I send you a picture of her naked. That, oh, look what she sent me. You as that person, stop that right there. Don't have that thing of relatability between your two. Show that this is not fine. And that's what I meant by brownie point. And these people are one person with women and another with their friends, or their squad, with whoever else. Now, the other part, what was the counter question? The other question?
The counter question was, if you're saying that men should not be mannequins to be scoring points and everything, just what then should be done about the concept of social media activism? And I see someone said it's no point posting if you do not promote the values that you're posting about. So if I say rape is wrong and you still rape, it doesn't really help that you're reposting if you're still doing it. So then where do we find the balance?
Now, that's exactly it. Now, you being a mannequin is creating that acceptance with your brother, with your friend, with whoever. Creating that, okay, you can talk to me about how she looks when she's naked. Or you can talk to me about how you raped that girl. I won't say anything. Believing that snitches get stitches. Believing that disgusting grows before hoes. Believing that, it does not make you a man. It makes you a mannequin. You just, what you're doing is being walked over and allowing it to happen. You're just a carpet, literally, you know? So that's where that balance comes into play, where these people that are scoring brownie points, and there's so many. There's so many. I've gotten a person on my live that was comparing women to cars. And then he would say, but I respect women, I respect women.
Sure. I mean, it kind of gets you to a point where you start thinking to yourself, this is not only about these things that we see, but also, my goodness, we are seeing these things, and I'm seeing the interaction, that mindset, that word. Now, Mr. Miles, I want to share something, and I want to share something that happened to me. My mother got violated by my stepfather, and that's the reason why I'm doing this. Now, I want to get to that phrase, that mindset. If you're in my shoes, you have two choices. You're going to see my mother getting violated and do exactly as you saw, or you're going to see her get violated and say, you know what, I will be the reason for her to surrender to freedom, right? And I want to place those two with each other, surrendering to freedom and that mindset. So, the importance of your mentality about how you think about these things. The importance of, if you are a parent, you are a future parent. Most of us here are future parents. What is the importance of looking after not only your mental health, but your children's mental health, which means you cannot, as a future father, abuse your wife, because what the child sees is usually what the child will do. So that mindset, how do we get to addressing the issues, the mental health issues and the mindset that is invigorated in these people from a young age because of what they saw, what they lived, and they never thought it was wrong.
Now, look, when growing up, your main influence is your parents. I would say maybe until 15, 16, maybe even 13 nowadays, it's social media. It's your friends. That's where most of your influence is coming from. And you know how influence works is that it's not set in stone. If you are influenced by something, it's not set in stone. It's not permanent. It won't stay there forever. You know, so influence can change a person's mentality. So that's one answer. Now, with that in mind, I've also seen GBV in my household and stuff when I was very young, though. But be the influence. When they do get out of their house, be that guy, be that girl, be that person to say, this is not okay. Influence this person that has been raised with kindness, that has been raised to believe that the man is the head, that the man is the buff, the strong guy. You need to speak, just communicate to this person, you know. And that's the beautiful thing about influence, is that it could just change like this.
Sure.
Just keep on planting that seed. Keep on planting that seed in the person's mind. And it will reap. Or rather, reap and you will sow. And that seed will grow. They'll see that, and that's the nice thing about raising awareness as well, or activists in general. This one person is saying something, you go on and you find another person saying the exact same thing, saying that what you see in your household is not okay. Stand out from that. So having that normal, that normal view on just what is right and what is wrong, and actually not just tampering with it. Don't justify what is wrong. Don't do that. You know. So that's yeah.
Thank you. Now, for those of you who are here and not know what this is about, Seshweek is going on for 5 whole days, and tomorrow we're going to be talking with a gender-based violence survivor, and I do hope that you will join us for that, and you'll be able to hear what these people exactly go through. This is just a way of presenting you with some ideas, and tomorrow you're going to be able to get yourself to feel what those people have felt throughout the years with this survivor who has never spoke out before, and she'll be doing it for the very first time. So I hope that you guys do join us for that. It promises to be absolutely educational. Now, I do know that Ms. Zoleka wanted to raise a point. So please do raise your point. I don't know if I can see it here. But the problem is that there are qualified actors out there who know how to peel face and speak word and still go left at you before me. Yes, we do know that. We did talk about the impact of people. We did talk about people acting as mannequins, you know, people who just post for the sake of posting, and people who score brownie points. You know, that whole concept right there is exactly what you're saying out there, you know. So we do understand it, and that's what we're trying to educate and put right here now. So if you're watching, anyone, please, when you do something and you do it for the right reasons, it will be successful. If you do it for the wrong reasons, it will not be successful. I have too many times released a video with the hope of it getting more views and not focused on the message, and it was never successful. Those videos that I didn't think about it and I was just thinking about, wow, this is a cool message, those videos gained the traction that I wanted from the video. And so that's exactly what Mr. Zaid Mal said. He wanted 100 people to watch it, and then 260,000 people watched it. So that's the message. Also, what the other person said, it's very important that you understand that what you're posting should be the values that you're trying to promote, not only for the people who are watching your repost, but also for you. If you say patriarchy is wrong and, you know, fuck it, then it means that you are one who agrees with that and want to also tell people that, listen, this is not right, you know. So let's move away from that, because if this happens, this will happen. Now I have a question for you, and it's pretty much, I think, my last question. And please stay with us. It's a very good question. And it relates to, and please do send in your comments. We'll go into the comments just after this question, because it's my last one, but not your last one. So please do stay with us. And I want to ask about the initiatives on social media. Now, we have seen so many initiatives. And off the top of my head, you mentioned Women for Change South Africa. You've mentioned Keep the Energy, Breaking the Silence, which is Bitumela Tages, A Second Chance, which is hers as well. She's going to be our speaker up next. We have Safer Spaces, we have Act Now Africa, and all those initiatives. Now, for me, I feel like we should do something spectacular one day and just address all these issues together as one front. But I also realize that the roles of these initiatives are not the same. Now, Mr. Miles, you are following 19 initiatives, right? And yes, I'm a stalker. I know. You are following that many. You are following those many initiatives, and it might grow because you're so interested in the cause. I want to know, how do you feel about them? Do they offer you the same thing? If they don't, should we all just converge and say, you know what? Hashtag UFOB is doing this. Let's merge. Let's do this together. Or is it a matter of we are doing different things for the same goal, but it's just different roles? For example, Ms. Tache has 3 initiatives, but they don't do the same thing. So is it a matter of that, or how do you understand it? How do you want these initiatives to work?
Look, with activism, I think of activism as a creative something. And with creative somethings comes collaboration. If I'm not as educated in a specific, how can I say, branch in these social issues, this initiative could help me with that. That's where that collaborative space comes into play. And yeah, it is different roles, but you know, a tree has a trunk that grows into different branches.
Sure.
It comes with that beauty, you know.
Sure.
So to me, I feel that if you have this initiative, get to that point of where you can collab with the next one. I mean, I know the Act by Young Adults is a page that was recently created by these 4 ladies, and they mainly speak on, how can I say, not too deep issues really, but it's more of mental health, and how mental health, most of the stuff that they're talking about is mental health, and how that contributes to a lot of GBV. It could contribute to a lot of those type of things, you know. Now, if I'm an initiative that mainly focuses on maybe posting women that has been killed, maybe posting things on GBV related stuff, the Act by Young Adults could help me on reasons as to why these things happen. Now, as the admin of this page or initiative, I would be more knowledgeable or educated on this thing, you know. And what is education? That's power. What is knowledge? That is power. You know, so letting people know of that through collaborative spaces. So yeah.
That's so interesting. And I want to go back to the comments because I'm being called out. I'm not scrolling up. I'm going to scroll up now. Zoleka, your comments have been absolutely outstanding, and I'm going to go into all of them now. So I'm going to read out the comments, and then we'll just cover them as we go at the last segment to this Instagram Live. Icon Zoleka says, Zulika, oh, Zoleka, yeah, Zoleka. She says, I think a big part or a part of the problem is that when we speak about these things, we only talk about the major issues. Now, before I want to go into what the major issues are, I want to talk about the small issues. One small issue that I've realized is that we have mentioned before. When I started this, I asked people, my friends, I want to start an initiative. and they were like, no, I will not support it because it's something that's been done already, so there's no issue doing it. There's nothing that's gonna change, right? So I lost that person as a friend. I lost him. But he never talks to me. I never talk to him because he never talks to me. He's blunt when he's talking to me. The fear of losing friends, Mr. Miles, because someone might feel guilty about something that you said. If you're saying, for example, if you're an atheist, it doesn't matter because you still have to have an element of respect. And that person doesn't like what you're saying and they're a friend. How do you discern from doing what is right, but still also maintaining your friends? Because that's the issue that most men struggle with. I will not report my friend who hit his girlfriend because that's my friend.
Hey, wow. I feel like with doing what's right comes with losing. Those two they go hand in hand. You know, like after sending through that video or posting that video, people would come to me and say, I know that you're lying. And then they would like not talk to me. I'm like, okay. But my question is, even if I were lying, let's say that girl didn't come to me on Nelson Mandela Bridge. Let's say those guys weren't there. You never know, maybe tomorrow there's that girl. Maybe the next day after that there's that girl that's being followed. You never know, maybe that girl has already been followed and is found in a ditch somewhere. So that type of ego has to be obliterated. It has to be abolished. It has to be stopped. If that means losing friends, go for it. You know, I feel it's near impossible to keep friends because everyone has their own opinion. And that opinion is also contributed by ego, toxic masculinity. So I feel, you know what, if it comes to friends, are they really your friends?
Sure.
If they feel like
okay, now I want to go down on the comments again. I'd like to raise a point. Simply as changing your vocabulary. Simply changing your vocabulary can help us fight this. Okay, that's brilliant. I think everyone got that one. Instead of speaking about the big things, let's call people out on the small things. That's exactly what we just spoke about now. Calling your friends out on the so-called small things you deem as small might be huge because the repercussions thereof are instrumental and will be absolutely big when it comes to that woman's safety one day. If Mr. Xavier Miles did not help that woman on the Mandela Bridge and was scared or something, she would not have been here with us today. That's the reality we live in. We do not know what these people go through on a daily basis. So please don't think anything or don't take anything for granted. Let's make it. Let's make people uncomfortable for society to change. I agree with that. Kamo says, but the problem is that we are qualified. Okay, yeah, we already mentioned that. So yeah, that's basically what the people have said, and it's absolutely magnificent. Now, Mr. Miles, I want to give you a free role in doing the final segment and telling the people in 10 seconds what is the message that they need to deliver out there. What is the message from you to them?
Okay, do something. Do something. And doing something doesn't mean you have to go in physically. Doing something means that you, the listener, that is also spreading this message. Doing something is screaming. If there's something physical happening in front of you, shining light on that predator, you know, because like I said, these people work in shadows, and there's no shadow when light is shone upon it, you know. So having that mindset, having that thing of, okay, this is happening, and even if it's not to me, I'm still gonna do something about it. And that's what we need.
Absolutely magnificent. Everyone, I am so grateful. This has been an absolutely fantastic event and conversation. I want to remind you guys, before I do the conclusion, I want to remind you, Seshweek with #BeForeMe, will be continuing for the next 4 days. We will be bringing to you guys people like Mr. Mouse, but with different experiences. Tomorrow, we have Martinique Berger, who is a gender-based violence survivor. On Wednesday, we have the beautiful and the ever-praisable Ms. Vitumela Tahi, who is an author and activist. On Thursday, we have the amazing Zola Kamunta. So please do join us. And on Friday, hey, let me not say. I will keep quiet. We are going to make the announcement tomorrow. So please do stay tuned for us with that. So yeah, Friday as well. There's Friday as well. We are not tired. Like he said, every single day we are going to just operate. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. It has been an absolutely brilliant event. Thank you so much for your interactions. Thank you for your engagement. This session will be posted on YouTube, so please do stay tuned for that. If you missed something, your internet tapped out somewhere, you will be able to view it afterwards and take segments. And just be deliberate by posting it in your story or status or anything else, so that those people who are oblivious to these issues will step up and realize that they too need to do something, like the Mr. Mouse said. Thank you so much. I hope that you will join us tomorrow at 7 o'clock, where we have an absolutely brilliant person coming to talk to us for the first time ever. She will be saying her story, so I really do hope that you'll be joining us and ask her questions, maybe that you will learn from as well, regarding these issues. I thank you. My name is Atang Swakboy, the founder of Hashtag You Before Me. Thank you so much to my team for making this possible. From us, Hashtag You Before Me, your headquarters, I say thank you. Goodbye, guys.
Arthur Ashe says, start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. And the greatest way to start is by having a team of the elite make you an elite. Whether you're an influencer, YouTuber, or an aspiring entrepreneur, the Street Grad Worldwide gives you global level service, lowest prices, and the greatest of value. If this is you, catch us on IG, ask us where the grad at, and we will change your life.